Today is December 15th, 2015, and I found an interesting article I'd like to share with you over here on Inverse. Virtual reality dating will streamline romance when someone finally invests. The virtual date will offer face-to-face interaction without costing much time or money. Why isn't Tinder going all in on this thing? And this is by Yasmin Tiag. OkCupid and Tinder may have made finding a date easy, but the dates themselves can still be an unbearable waste of time. Meeting strangers in cocktail bars is certainly faster than hoping to meet strangers in cocktail bars, but it doesn't pass for a streamlined process because there is not a gradual leveling up of seriousness. Swiping, then texting, then quite suddenly emotional entanglement. There needs to be another step. And VR seems like the ideal technology to make it happen. That's because VR can create intimacy without requiring potentially awkward or even unsafe in-person interactions, says Paul Hollywood, his real name. The founder of VR social networking site VTime, which isn't specifically for, but is certainly open to, romance. A VR date would be quite cool because you wouldn't have to go to the restaurant or the bar, he told Inverse. If you wanted to meet someone for the first time, you would feel quite secure because you're not really going somewhere, but you can still have that connection. And there's a man with the VR goggles on, looks like the Oculus Rift. Think of a VR date as a fully immersive game of The Sims, only even more hormonally charged. Digital lovers will interact via their virtual avatars, meet in virtual spaces, and attempt to make actual sparks fly in virtual museums, restaurants, and bars. From the comfort of their own bedrooms, it won't replace human contact, but it will serve as an accurate tool for pre-screening, lowering the stakes of a first date but preserving the intimacy needed for relationships to develop. It's a really humanized version of yourself, even though it's a digital platform, he says. You can customize these avatars right down to the clothes you wear. You can create a quite accurate representation or not of yourself. Catfishers? He makes a good point. VR daters aren't going to make unattractive avatars, but then again, most Tinder profiles aren't intentionally unappealing either. VR dating won't make it any harder for people to lie about their looks, but it'll at least make assessing chemistry a lot less painless. One of the coolest things is getting to drop out of the date at any second, says Hollywood. No need to climb out of the bathroom window. I don't know if any of you out there have ever had to do that, but, leave the comments down below on that. Maybe VR dating will make us callous, or maybe it'll just free up more time to spend seeking true virtual love. In Hollywood's view, the latter is what makes VR so important. I can see it used quite efficiently as a dating tool, he says, which makes it all the more surprising that none of the big online dating platforms, Match.com, Plenty of Fish, and the like have adopted it, as far as we know. Looks like a typo there. Even if they're not ready for it, the public is. In a recent survey, the tech giant Ericsson found that up to 1/3 of consumers are already down to strap on a VR helmet for online dating. And a recent analysis of dating trends by digital romance behemoth eHarmony predicted that VR dating will be the norm by 2040. Relationships ultimately require 2 or more people to like each other enough to hang out in person. VR dating will help us get to that point, or realize that we never will, faster than ever before. Love in the time of Oculus Rift is going to be a weird and occasionally painfully efficient thing, but the end goal has always remained the same. Love is everywhere, says Hollywood, even in VR. Well, the thing about VR, right now, we're at the end of 2015. Next year is going to be the big rollout of AR and VR, augmented reality and virtual reality. And so you sort of had a test bit of this earlier in the 2000s with that online game Second Life, if any of you are familiar out there with it. I played a little bit of it, but I started kind of growing out of devoting a lot of time to games around that time. Anyway, you do have people meeting online. You do have it would seem a deeper connection when it comes to meeting people in an online setting, because there's not the worry of, all the usual first impression and everything. You can sort of take your time and space things out. However, I'm a little old school. While online dating works for me, so does meeting people out in real life. Just, do it live, out in public, wherever. So share with me your thoughts on this and let me know what you think about this whole online dating looks like being taken to the next level. That's going to do it for this one. That's all I got for now. Catch you in the next article. September Man out, 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 out.